Well, all good things must come to an end, and that includes our beloved spot on Golden Pond. It's been great. However, there's been a few mosquito hatches, and we felt it, and so it's not why we're leaving, though. The reason why we're leaving, we've been here for just over 2 weeks, and our black tank is full, and our gray tank is, well, that's at 1/3. But our other gray tank is almost full. So we've got 2 gray tanks and 2 black tanks. One of the black tanks, however, we don't use. So, or we haven't yet, and that's in the garage. Well, I guess I better get back inside. There's some work to be done. Okay, we got a few things to get done inside, but I want to let you know, I just got a notification that we're going to be able to actually see some real live dinosaur poop. It's not a joke. We're going to be able to well, yeah, we are going to be able to touch it. But yeah, that's later on in this episode, not that far off. But let's get this inside stuff done, pack up, and let's go. Okay, well, we're inside. Chrissy locked up the pantry. You can see the little black knob up there. The TV has a strap going around it. One of the things on our to-do list is to clean this vent up here in the AC unit. You can see it got a little dusty. We are almost ready to leave our boondocking spot, and it sure was nice. Okay, well, the interior slides are all in. Now it's time to get the truck into position. So we got this hockey puck system. Basically, you can see that even though we have a 5th wheel, we still have all of our bed of the truck that is still in use, as opposed to those other hitches where they take up, man, quite a bit, where you can't really use this for anything. But with this hockey puck system, you've got the whole bed. All right, Chrissy's gonna hook it up. She's gonna take that goes into what's called the 7-way. You can't really see it, but trust me, it's back there. I promise you. Okay, so the chains are being hooked up, and then we got the final one, which is called the breakaway cable. So if all the other 2 cables fail, we still have that. That's it. All right. It is time to go.
Alright, we got the electric and the power hooked up. We needed a little bit of DIY leveling. And then we'll be hooking up the sewer here, but not right this minute. I'm gonna go hit the slides. Well, we're headed into the town of Onamia.
Yeah, and I was in here last week and I found this unique place that was pretty cool, and that's where we're going. It's definitely something you do not see very often.
Well, looking forward to it.
We're in the small town of Onamia, Minnesota. Population about 745 people. So they don't even have a stoplight. So to find something like this,
It's kind of literally a diamond in the rough.
Cool.
Cordova's rock shop. It's gonna be fun. Literally out of this world. Stumbled on Andy. This is, by the way, Andy Cordova's rock shop.
Andy Cordova.
In Onamia, Minnesota. And I said before, it's a population thereabouts of 745. But a couple of years ago, I met my friend at what's called the Hairy Mosquito. And it's got a bunch of booze. It's kind of a fairish type of
Basically like an antique fair flea market.
but it's outside.
Yep,
It's all outdoors. And I met Andy there about 3-4 years ago before I got my motorcycle crash. And we talked about geology basically for about 45 minutes. And he's got some unique perspectives on geology. If you're not interested in it, he makes it interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah, so let's just kind of walk around and let's start here.
Welcome in. So right here we've got some stuff out of South Italy and Mexico. This is all cave formation stuff. In the United States, you're not even allowed to harvest this stuff out of caves. But in Mexico, the laws are different. So they've been mining this cave system for over 3,000 years down in Mexico.
Holy moly.
So a good friend of mine is 5th generation that they've been mining out of this cave system. So it's quite fantastic. It's really interesting.
And how did you come up with all this?
I've been doing the Tucson Gem Show for about 4 years now. And down there, it's the biggest gem show in the world. So people come in from all over the world and bring their stuff. So just kind of stumbled upon it. Got lucky to have a good neighbor is what it boiled down to at the Miners Co-op in Tucson.
That's so great.
How large can these get?
So they actually get pretty big. If you look over here at the corner, some of them get quite large. These are all stalactites and stalagmites in this case. Then we've got aragonites down here and all sorts of stuff. Really from all over the world. Lots of cabochons, opals, Tiffany.
Jeez, you guys. Beautiful.
And you said these are hard to come by.
Yeah, in the United States, honestly, they fine you by the ounce on it. It's quite a hefty fine.
Holy
Just for taking them out of a cave. They've been cataloged, photographed, labeled in the United States. You can't even take them off caves on your own property.
Really? So you don't own those mineral rights?
No, once you go down so far. It's kind of it takes so long for this stuff to form that we protected it.
In the United States.
Yep. In the 70s, we did a lot for protecting basically Mother Nature. Went ahead and did a lot of national parks and different things like that. It was put a lot into protecting the stuff so that we have it for the future generations.
Right. What do we got? So are these are
These are aragonites and calcites.
okay?
Also out of the same cave system in Santa Elia.
They just look different.
They're just different. So this is more of a water formation as the water is flowing through the caves. These are all being formed in water, basically.
In water.
Yep, so it's different.
So they're submerged.
They're submerged, water's going up and down. Actually, with these guys in particular, the water will change the direction of the drip because of how it was flowing through. So it's
Fascinating.
pretty interesting stuff. Then we get into fossils and all sorts of artifacts down
Whistles here. What is? It looks like a snail.
Yes, we've got graphites are the shiny ones. We've got snails. We've got fish. We've actually got an urchin in the back and ammonites. The big chunk that's bubbly in the back is actually dinosaur poop. Yep, fun stuff. There's all sorts of dinosaur bones. And then there's artifacts, which are Native American artifacts down here on the other end. These are all right from a dig from Forest Fen. They're labeled to what room and what area and unit they came out of when they were
I see
digging
they are
in San
labeled.
Lorenzo. It's really nice stuff. There's a couple of really old Navajo carved dolls down there on the grinding stone, and actually a petroglyph, which is even rare.
Those are real artifacts from.
They're all real artifacts.
How old are those artifacts, those dolls?
Probably 800 to 3,000 years old.
Oh my lord!
That's when they were.
How did you come up with that?
At the shows, they've come up and they're come. So with the petroglyphs, it's another big legality. You have to prove that it came off private property, and you have to prove a lot of things just to be able to own it. You have to be Navajo, which I am part Navajo.
Right.
Oh,
Wow.
And those are actually two Native Americans with bows on their backs and feathers on their head going out on a hunting party.
So you can't own that unless you're Navajo, you said?
Certain things,
Okay.
like
Right.
petroglyphs.
Petroglyphs.
Yeah, the pottery and that, there's so much of it. You can go on eBay and buy a lot of that stuff.
So you got to keep a lot of detailed records then.
Oh yeah, lots of detailed records, lots of history. Well, it's key, especially with like the artifacts on the wall. A lot of those frames have pictures on the back of them.
Yep.
Exactly when they were picked and exactly where. Wow. So you know they're off private land. You know they're completely legal.
Plus, you're proving that everything that you're selling is authentic.
Exactly, and you're doing it directly. We want to represent everything properly. A lot of things in the rock world, sometimes maybe, sometimes not.
But in that sense, things are being protected as well.
Exactly, we're protecting all the stuff, keeping the history alive.
And you're preserving this.
Exactly. Sharing it with future generations. Putting a collection together like this, you can't do it unless you get exposed to the areas where I've been and the people from all over the world to get a collection like this, unless you're ordering it online and bringing it in.
Yeah, because you just didn't get this here in Onamia.
No, unfortunately not. But I'm lucky enough to share it with everyone here.
Yeah,
And everywhere around.
well, and we're lucky to have it.
Well,
Very cool. Yeah.
What is all this here?
So we've got all sorts of different minerals and crystals. So like the naturalite down here, my buddy Stuart Wilson mined some stuff himself in Washington State, and he's actually in Rock and Gem magazine with articles of him mining this stuff. So with me getting to be at the Miners Co-op, I get to meet the guys that are pulling this stuff out of the ground, that are actually own mines and own different claims all over the country, all over the world.
That is
So
fascinating.
it's really a fun part of it. We've got like salts. These are actually salt crystals down here out of California. That's how salt forms. And just all different kinds of crystals in this cabinet, from vanadionite to vivianite, just all sorts. Azurite, malachites, selenites, different agates.
What are those beautiful things on that back shelf? The bright
So
blue.
they are from Planet Mine. It's a Planet Mine Chrysocolla, which Planet Mine is a mine that they're really not getting much out of anymore. So
Wow.
it's a really fun one. You don't get to see a lot of that stuff anymore. And above it's another rare one. It's jet from Australia, the black stone. It's a really, really light stone. It's in the coal family.
Does it burn like coal?
No, it polishes up wonderfully like Cabot's black stones though.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's one that you don't see a lot of in Minnesota.
And then above there is
All sorts of corals and shells from all over the world.
you just don't
So-
stop, Andy. You just
Well, as a chef for many years, I found out variety is the spice of life. You gotta have something for everybody is what it boils down to. From cabochons for the jewelry people that want to make their own jewelry,
Mhm.
to wire wrap stuff for the ladies and the gentlemen. Like a good friend of mine that's blind wraps all these pendants and does all the bezel work on
Oh
it.
my gosh.
And she's got super, super thick glasses and a big magnifying glass, and she sits right up to it when she's doing them. She's completely legally blind.
completely no. And she does this.
She does all the wire wrapping on this. She did the wire wraps in the window with the trees.
Oh.
I try to support local artists and try to bring them in. I couldn't find any stickers.
Yeah.
It's not a touch thing, but she's able to see as long as she's right up here under massive amounts of magnification.
Interesting.
But it's a fun one, so I support that.
Yeah. How long have you been in the community?
I grew up here. I moved here in the 6th grade, honestly, in the town next door in Ohio. And kind of been here. My mother was a nurse here in town for 30 years at the hospital just a couple blocks down the road. So
This is a really... thought that was something I didn't... Don't break in the store.
Don't break the camera.
But you just didn't get started in this. You started this obviously a long time ago.
I started this, basically, my mom was doing it when she was just a little kid. So it's been something that's been passed on. My mom passed it on to me and gave it to me. Me and my twin brother would go agate picking in the Lake Superior agates right here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what got it started, was just picking those Lake Superior agates. And going from there, started going to shows and had a good enough collection of Lake Superior agates where I started vending at the show.
Oh, no way. That's...
Yeah, and
And that kind of just started it all. And 12 years later, after doing shows, do several shows in Minnesota, Moose Lake, Duluth, St. Cloud, do the show down at the State Fairgrounds for the Minnesota Mineral Club. It's one of the fantastic parts of it. You get to meet people.
I'm really into those Lake Superior agates lately. I don't know why.
They're elusive. You can walk a lot of miles and not come across
That's
them.
what it seems like. And I just didn't realize people were making jewelry and things out of them. Ooh.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
They are.
It's actually Minnesota's state gemstone.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
fun one.
Wow.
We're lucky to have them.
Mhm.
I noticed something here. This looks like petrified wood. Is that...
So there is petrified wood over here, which is more right here. But this piece is actually called Wildfire Opal, and that's out of Utah. So it's actually in the opal family. So, but this here is actually petrified wood, and this is rainbow wood out of Arizona. So I do have several varieties of petrified wood. I've got black wood. Actually, in the back room over here, we've got a big petrified wood table we can show you here in a little bit.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
Oh,
And that's out of Indonesia.
what's going on here?
So this is basically a man-made shelf. So everything on this shelf is man-made. This is what we call surfite. This is epoxy resin. And this is actually how they color surfboards when they're making them.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a lot of fun. They cut it up, make different jewelry out of it, make slabs out of it.
Oh, wow.
And it's a really fun one. We've got some paint above this. We've got graffiti stone from Cadillac Ranch in Texas. They buried 10 Cadillacs sticking out of the ground outside of Amarillo, Texas. Been spray painting in this graffiti since 1970. So they call it graffiti stone, but it's literally the paint right off those Cadillacs.
No way.
This is called Fordite. This is how they automated system of spray painting vehicles. So they come through and hang their parts on racks and spray them down. They call it Detroit City Agate. They got to knock that paint off of these bars just to get this. And this is what they cut up and make jewelry out of.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of fun. There's all different kinds of stuff. This is silicon carbide. They crush this up and make sandpaper, but it's actually a man-made crystal.
Wow.
They make this, but they actually make sandpaper out of it, and they'll crush it to different grits, and that's how they make the different grit sandpaper.
Incredible.
So 3M goes through a lot, right?
Oh yeah. Then we've got different specialized paints down to like off Maseratis and off Jeep. So I've got some Navy boat painted off the Navy boats in Virginia Beach. So it's a fun one. These are actually synthetic stones. These are blocks of man-made stone. It still has the stone in it, but they press it together and they use the powder from when they're cutting a lot of it. So it's a more affordable variety for those that want to make jewelry.
And then you got arrowheads up here.
Yep, all the artifacts, everything. They're all authentic. They're labeled. Some of them are labeled on the front, most of them on the back.
You said, yeah.
Correct. There's pottery, all sorts.
And how old could that pottery potentially be?
Probably in the 8 to 1200 year old.
And where was this out of?
That is all out of the basically Four Corners area,
Oh, Colorado,
Yeah.
New
New Mexico,
Mexico.
that area.
Yeah.
So it's a fun little area.
Now you got stuff out of this world, literally.
It's fun stuff. They actually have meteorites. So these are actually out of Mexico. This is a chondritic meteorite that fell on February 8th, 1969
Wow.
at exactly 105. It broke the atmosphere.
Oh.
And 2 tons of it broke up into small little pieces and came in and landed into all of
2
it.
tons?
Yeah,
They found 2 tons?
quite a lot of it. Some of them get way bigger than that. the Capodiceo out of Argentina, those meteorites get immense. Like they found hundreds of thousands of them. But it all broke up, and when it breaks up, it lands on Earth. It goes from a meteor to a meteorite. It doesn't become a meteorite until it hits the ground. But when it breaks up, the ground that it hits is called a strewn field. It's actually where all those little pieces fall.
That is so fascinating.
Learn. I mean, did you go to college? What's going on here?
I went to college for culinary school. It's a passion. It's something you love, and once you start, you can't stop. You want to keep reading and keep learning more, and lots of old magazines and books, people, miners.
Do you keep learning every day?
Every day something new.
Seriously,
reading new articles, doing new things, meeting new people. Different people come into the shop and tell me about the stones that they've gathered all over and what they are, and even if I don't know.
Do you get people here from
All over the world. As of yet, I opened up on April 1st. My furthest person from New Zealand already.
Wow.
So it's kind of one
do they know you're here, or how does that work?
the mighty power of Google. They found it at Google Rock Shops, and I just happened to be in the area. We've got a casino just north of us, 15 miles. They were staying at the casino. They came on down and visited.
It's not like you find these kind of shops everywhere.
No, there's only a few of them in the state that are actual rock shops. Several of them will do crystals and different things rock related in their
It's kind of a
stores.
niche.
But to be an actual rock shop where everything's rock related, some way or another.
This is like a museum.
Yeah, it really is.
It's infinite. It's small, but it's infinite. It's like an infinite museum in here. It just never stops.
Appreciate that.
This is copper.
Yep,
From Michigan? Or
Yep, native copper in Michigan. So they dip it in acid, and that cleans all of the oxidization off of it, and that's why it looks like copper. Whereas undipped and untreated, a lot of times it'll be covered in a green oxidization,
right, because it turns green.
and you can hardly tell that it's copper. But then you grind into it, and it exposes the copper in it. But this is all right out of Michigan.
Wow.
So this started the Bronze Age.
Now there's an island in Lake Superior off of the coast of
Michigan.
Yes.
He knew exactly where you were going.
There is speculation that there's been people coming from Europe way before
They've
Columbus.
basically kind of almost proved that now with testing and modern testing is they're able to test the bronze that started the Bronze Age and where did the copper from. Well, they can test the copper itself by the mineralogy and tell exactly which deposit it came from.
And they're
proving that, yeah, it came from right here. They were over here
well before Columbus.
well before this, yeah.
Kind of give us a time range.
That, Scott Walter. He's the man.
Scott Walter.
Scott Walter, yeah.
Don't know him. He was the
He's an acquaintance.
he was in a TV series called America Unearthed, I believe.
Yep.
100%.
And that was on the Travel Channel or History.
Discovery.
Discovery Channel, yep.
So Scott Walter is actually
He's the guy that wrote all the books on Lake Superior agates. He's been heavily into the rock world for a very long time.
and you know him personally.
Yes, I've known him for several years now. Yeah, we do a couple shows together, and
Oh, did you? I'll have to look those up.
yep, that's up in Moose Lake.
Okay.
You've been on
Agate Days, yep, do that show. Love it. It's the biggest agate show of the year here in Minnesota. It's coming up in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Up on Moose Lake, huh?
Yep.
now Scott Walter.
Walter.
Well, Scott Walter, I apologize. He speculated that even the Knights Templar
Yeah.
could have been
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah, and he did a lot of this stuff with that, like with the Ruin Stone
Mhm.
from Minnesota.
Yeah.
He did a lot of testing and stuff like that. He's pretty impressive. He's got a lab down by the University of Minnesota, and he's basically a forensic geologist. Goes
Yeah.
all over the world testing stuff.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah. All this is let's continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you got here? This is huge.
Once again, this is a smoky quartz crystal out of Brazil, and these are small little smoky quartz crystals out of Colorado. So just all sorts of different crystals.
Neat.
We got different quartz crystals to amethyst crystals to hematite crystals, all the way down to more of the grade A Vivianite.
Beautiful.
This is called a cobalt quartz.
Wow.
The blue on the other end is Amazonite, mined by Kim and Bodie up on Pikes Peak.
Oh, wow.
Lots of fun. When you come back here, guys, we've got even more. So it sets up. We've got some more higher end crystals in the display cabinet from cabochons of turquoise, which is all American turquoise, and American tourmalines, pink and watermelon tourmalines out of California, and all sorts of micro minerals.
What makes them higher end?
Basically rarity.
Rarity.
Yeah, how hard they are to come across, and then quality of specimens.
Okay, so yeah.
Just like any gemstone, there's grading of them all. So it's just how rare they are and hard to come across, and then how good they are in quality and then clarity.
And then demand, I suppose.
Exactly, supply and demand. You've got it like the tanzanite crystals in there. They're rarer than diamonds. These three in the front.
They're rarer than diamonds.
100%.
Wow.
Way rarer.
And those things are huge then. If they're rarer than diamonds, those are... Because if you would have a diamond that size,
Yeah.
that would be pretty insane.
Some of the tanzanites got a pretty little penny on them too. The high end of tanzanite can go $200, $250 a carat.
So you basically need to get a mortgage. For most people would need to get a mortgage.
Or you need to see what you can get out of it. When you look at that stone, you need to be able to go, ooh, I can get this carat stone faceted like that. And you know right off the head, you're going to make that much more of it by cutting that stone up and turning it into jewelry. So a lot of this is meant for jewelry making. Some of it is specimen. A lot of it's jewelry grade too, into the facet grade.
And then what about like the very wealthy? Do they put their money into it to hedge against inflation or?
Listen to any investment person. They tell you, what do you invest in?
Precious metals.
Metals and
Stones.
gemstones.
Oh, and gemstones.
That's what these are.
Mm-hmm.
Meteorites are one of the most precious of the metals.
Wow.
Some of these stones are worth more than gold by weight.
Wow, you guys.
So it's a really fun
Yeah.
thing when you start diving into them.
It's amazing.
Uh-huh.
You know, and the funny thing is,
This is actually gold. This is gold ore out of Colorado.
wow.
Oh my god.
They literally crush this up, take the gold out of it. You save some for jewelry.
So is there, and I don't know, maybe you touched on this and I missed it, but have you mined some of this yourself?
Oh,
Or
100%.
Okay.
I go over and try to mine as much as I possibly can myself.
Okay.
One of the benefits of being at the miners co-op is mine owners all over the country.
Mm.
So whereas most people cannot get in there and go mine and go into their mines, it's one of those when you know the owner, it's a little different story.
Got it. It's who you know.
Yes, a lot of networking, 100%.
You like networking?
I love people.
You know, I can tell.
I've always been a people person.
Well, what do we got back here, Andy?
So we've got more mineral specimens from all over the world, different agates. Like this is a lattice agate out of Mexico. We've got dogtooth calcites. Once again, the same mining system that those other minerals are coming out of. These came out of. It's
Wow.
amazing the variety of minerals you can find in there. And we've just got a different variety of stuff from smaller pieces of dinosaur poo to Tiffany stone, which I actually mined myself out in Utah.
Oh my gosh. And it's so
So,
beautiful.
I do try to get out and mine as much as possible. You can't mine it all because there's over 6,000 minerals.
Is that copper again?
This is malachite and azurite out of Arizona. This is actually out of Bixby.
I just thought it looked like it was
But
oxidized.
it is 100% a copper mineral.
Oh, it is.
I wasn't nailed it.
Far off.
No, you nailed it. So malachite is a copper ore, basically. A lot of people will crush that down and pull the copper out of it.
Oh, you can pull copper.
Oh yeah, but they've been using malachite. It's one of the earliest stones ever used for anything.
Now, were these dirty, or why are they taking a bath?
They're taking a bath so that you can see what they look like when they're polished. This is actually Andamuka opal out of Australia.
Australia.
So this is Andamuka. So it's a sugar opal. They cure it with molasses, with acid,
What the?
and then it turns it black. They
Wow.
cook it at 180 degrees till it turns black in that molasses.
That's
And
incredible.
then they'll stabilize it and slab it all up, and that's where you get what we got here.
Have you been to Australia?
No, Once again, a benefit of Tucson. So actually one of my good buddies out of New Mexico, Adrian Garcia, is one of the best stabilizers in the country. He stabilizes most of the turquoise and softer stones that need to be stabilized so you can turn them into jewelry. Otherwise they crumble.
Oh, that's what you mean by stabilization?
Yep. So the softer stones will be stabilized. They cook them in a pressure cooker basically and cook them down with a super thin viscosity super glue basically and pressure cook them till they're solid and rock hard. Well, he's one of the best in the entire country. This came from Adrian.
You got a pretty large piece
So,
of petrified wood here.
Yep. That's that
This is
table you
actually
referenced.
Indonesian petrified wood. So it's right out of Indonesia. 260 pounds just on the tabletop itself.
Beautiful.
So this is one of the things.
Now, how does petrified wood come to being?
Well, it's going to get trapped, basically, and covered up when it falls down. And as long as it's covered up and it isn't exposed to oxygen, which will cause it to rot,
Yep.
it's not going to rot. And then things start happening over millions of years, and it decays, breaks down, and turns into stone. But you can go as far as to seeing every line in the wood, just as you would a piece of wood you cut down. It's literally just like wood, but millions of years old.
Beautiful.
Well, we've got bigger chunks and logs of petrified wood down here under the table. Good friend of mine in North Carolina did the artwork and stuff.
I was going to ask about the artwork on the walls. I really like it too.
Jason Craighead. He's a great man.
Wow. That's pretty. I really like it.
Too.
No, I mean, I could entertain it. But no, this is personal collection of mine that I got when I was
Talented guy.
I love that flag.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun one.
I mean, you don't see that.
No.
I mean, that stirs up a lot of emotion for me.
I like to represent a lot of the artifacts and do a lot of the different things with the artifacts. I mean, having Native American blood, I like to represent that part of it. So, very proud of that.
As you should be.
Again, you've got a lot of different varieties here.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff from different minerals.
Bullets? Bullets? What do you...
They are bullets carved out of stone, from amethyst onto other things. Or literally all sorts of stuff, from little hearts to many different pendants.
Ooh.
All different kinds of stuff. Little moons, all sorts of beading stuff for making bracelets and necklaces, fossils, you name it. All sorts. Amber, just fun stuff. This is a way you can put out a lot of stuff in a little bit of space.
I love it.
Learned this from my neighbor in Tucson as well. He's a ninja. He does 16 tables full.
Oh my.
What's this?
So this is basically for the kiddos, but it's basically a fish tank pebbles, but it's all different kinds of polished stones.
Oh, yeah.
And this is dyed percusite. It's basically a white stone that they dye to look like turquoise.
Oh.
So rose quartz and little crystals. Let them come in and fill their bag with whatever they want just for fun.
Ooh, tiger's eye.
Got little specimen little things up there that actually tell you what all the little stones are. These are more slabs for the cabochon people that want to make their cabochons. Once again, we keep it in water so they know what it looks like when it's polished. To different end cuts of cuts on Lake Superior agates.
That's from Lake Superior.
Yep, this is us right here.
Love it.
All sorts of fun stuff. Even into a black light room back here.
Oh my.
Not maybe this is like a secret room.
The lights are on right now, so I'll let you guys come back here and we can cut the lights off and I'll show you guys what it's like back here. I'll turn these off. Once you turn the lights off, everything kind of starts to and lights up different colors and blues and reds and yellows and pinks. These are the Uber lights.
Yep, I have a necklace of that. I love
Fun
those.
stuff. So
Yeah.
my buddy Eric actually was the one that got to name that stuff.
Really?
Different lights do different things. Like this is long wave. These are called oh my gods. Oh my butterflies.
Does this happen naturally, or is this...
Yeah, well, it's natural, but it's the lights causing these minerals to glow.
But it isn't something that was introduced by man. I mean, this is...
No, these are all natural. Well, not all natural. Like this is paint. This is from Cadillac Ranch.
Okay.
There is glass. Like this is actually glass that they make marbles out of, but it'll stay glowing. So lots of different things in here. Look at these under different waves. This is long wave, and then this is mid wave.
Oh my goodness.
So different waves do different things with the rocks as well.
I love that.
That almost looks like smoldering charcoal.
Isn't it fun? Even with the minerals. Like you'll get some different colors on them, but then once you put mid, they glow even better. So they do just different things under different waves. It's a fun thing. So I got some lights ordered in for this room, so I won't be on flashlights the whole time.
Very cool. Oh, beautiful.
Tell site. It's just all sorts of fun stuff when you get into playing with the black lights.
Very cool.
It's another fun part of it back here in the rock world.
Now I know you do shows. How do you transport all your merchandise to different shows?
Use trailers.
Trailers?
I got a big Cummins truck.
Yeah, okay.
Trailers.
I would assume you would need to, because this is heavy stuff.
Yeah, especially when you get into like the iron rocks and different stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow. Andy, this is fantastic. Now, if someone's watching this and they wanna know more about you, how do they do that?
I'm online. Andy Cordova. Cordova's Rock Shop is online. You can also get a hold of me basically at my phone number 218-380-2269. Or at Cordova's Rock Shop 1234@gmail.com.
Cordova's Rock Shop 1234.
So Buzz family, this is one of the unique experiences about RVing full time. You get to travel throughout our country and meet folks like this on a daily basis. And I hope you enjoy this. I hope that those of you that don't do this get a taste of what life is like in our country. I mean, we're a blessed nation.
We are, and I'm blessed to have you guys in here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming in today.
Yes, and we'll see you again.
Yep, I'm sure.
Are you going to be at the Hairy Mosquito on Sunday?
I am going to be there. Yes.
We'll see you Sunday.
I'm actually for all the vendors. I'm doing the meal for all of them on Saturday night as well.
Oh, beautiful.
So it's a fun thing.
So when we're at the Hairy Mosquito, we'll see his booth.
Yes, I will be there. Thank you again for coming in, guys.
All right.
We'll see
Thanks.
you. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. That was.
Hey Boondock Buzz fam, thanks for tuning in into another episode of Biggie's Boondock Buzz. Well, we stopped by Cordova's Rock Shop and what a treat that was. It took us longer than we expected, so unfortunately I can't get everything we wanted to get in this episode, so we've got a special one again coming to you next Friday. We are going to be stopping at the Hairy Mosquito. Hairy Mosquito, you ask? What is that? You're going to have to subscribe to find out, and you will be the first to get alerted to that very special episode. So, until next time. Oh, by the way, like this one, you got 2 more episodes that you have an opportunity to watch on each side of your screen. So, until next time, keep your moral compass pointed north.